President Bongbong Marcos is dismissing the idea of deploying Philippine warships to the West Philippine Sea in response to Chinese aggression, calling it provocative and an escalation. The president's statement came after the Philippine Coast Guard previously floated the idea of sending naval ships into the country's territorial waters as a policy option contingent on the president's approval. In an interview on Tuesday, December 10, Marcos says the country is not at war with anyone and the government is simply doing its mission to resupply fishermen in the area and in protecting the country's territorial rights.
We are not at war. We don't need Navy warships. All we are doing is resupplying our fishermen, protecting our territorial rights. Again, it will be provocative and will be seen as an escalation. We don't do that. The Philippines does not escalate tensions. Quite the opposite. The Philippines always tries to bring down the level of tension.
When asked about the government's response to China's continued aggression in the disputed waters, Marcos responds,
"We are going to continue to perform our mission. We will never be part of an escalation in the situation in the West Philippine Sea. If we look at the evolution of the situation in the West Philippine Sea, the Philippines has never been an agent of escalation of tensions."
On December 4, Chinese warships sailed the Philippine Coast Guard's BRP Teresa Magbanwa at a dangerously close distance of only 300 yards. On the same day, Chinese Coast Guard also harassed BRP Melchora Aquino, BRP Cape Engaño, and Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources vessels that were deployed at Escoda Shoal. These incidents occurred against the backdrop of a long-standing territorial dispute. China, through its so-called 10-dash line, claims ownership of most of the South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea, which lies well within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. China's 10-dash claims were effectively invalidated by a July 2016 International Tribunal ruling that stemmed from a case filed by Manila in 2013. However, Beijing has persistently ignored the ruling, continuing to encroach on the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Vice President Sara Duterte says she will once again skip the investigation of the National Bureau of Investigation on her alleged death threat against President Bongbong Marcos. In an interview with GMA Regional News on Monday, December 9, Duterte said that based on her lawyer's explanation to her about the NBI investigation, she can choose not to go to the NBI and instead submit a letter or affidavit. When asked why she won't be able to go to the NBI investigation, Duterte cited her office's Thanksgiving activities as well as a wake she has to attend in Davao City. Duterte skipped the initial summon of NBI last November 29, citing a scheduling mix-up. The Bureau then rescheduled it to Wednesday, December 11. In its initial subpoena, the NBI asked Duterte to present evidence on its investigation of alleged grave threats under Article 282 of the Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. The document also stated that Duterte may have violated the Republic Act 11479 or the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. Amid these complaints, Duterte is also facing impeachment complaints filed by civil society organizations and the group Bayan. According to the Vice President, she welcomes the impeachment complaints lodged against her before the House of Representatives. Duterte claims she would much rather face an impeachment case as it would mean that only she would be investigated while her office's personnel will be spared. Duterte also said she sees the impeachment complaints as a chance for her to address all accusations against her. Apart from the NBI investigation and impeachment raps, Duterte is also facing complaints for grave coercion, direct assault, and disobedience, all of which were filed by the Philippine National Police. She is also facing disbarment complaints before the Supreme Court. Most of these complaints stem from her recent remark where she claimed that she instructed someone to kill President Marcos, his wife Liza Araneta Marcos, and cousin Speaker Martin Romualdez if she too is killed. Evacuation of thousands of residents near Mount Kanlaon, which straddles the provinces of Negros Occidental and Negros Oriental, started after the volcano again erupted, causing heavy ashfall and emitting strong sulfuric fumes on Monday, December 9. As the threat of eruption from Mount Kanlaon intensifies, Defense Secretary and National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council Chair Gilberto Teodoro Jr. ordered an urgent evacuation operation affecting approximately 87,000 residents. The gravity of the situation is particularly acute in La Castellana town of Negros Occidental, where an estimated 46,900 individuals are within the danger zone. Officials of La Castellana town and the cities of Bago and La Carlota in Negros Occidental and Kanlaon City in Negros Oriental have earlier ordered residents living within the 6-kilometer radius from the summit of the volcano to seek temporary shelter in evacuation centers. The volcano also erupted on June 3 this year, spewing coarse ashfall and sulfur fumes that damaged 84.1 million pesos in crops and fisheries. In an advisory on Monday, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology said explosive eruption occurred at the summit vent of Mount Kanlaon from 3:03 p.m. to 3:07 p.m. and generated a plume height of 4,000 kilometers. This prompted PHIVOLCS to raise the volcano's alert level from 2 to 3, which indicates magmatic unrest. According to state volcanologists, this means magmatic eruption has begun that may progress to further explosive eruptions. Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos in an interview on Tuesday, December 10, says that the government is ready to assist individuals affected by the eruption of Mount Kanlaon. According to Marcos, the government is continuously monitoring the levels of toxic gases emitted by Kanlaon to determine if more residents should be evacuated. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines announces on Tuesday that more flights were cancelled due to the eruption of the Kanlaon volcano.